Hi everyone, Quiveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we are yet again heading far into the future to take a look at an event that won't be occurring for hundreds of years. So we are looking all the way forward to 2186, and we're going to be looking for the 16th of July. So we'll get our dates here. Here we are, looking forward to the year 2186, the 16th of July. We'll have a quick look at the sky. I am noticing, of course, that the new moon, is very close to the sun. It's not close enough to make an eclipse, at least not from here in Ireland. But for this video, as with many videos where we take a look into the future, I haven't been told exactly what I'm looking for, but I have been told where to look from. So we are going to have a quick look at the sky from here in Ireland. We can already see some of the planets, but I was told to take a look at this date from northern South America, so around Colombia, Venezuela, that kind of area. So we can see Mars here in the morning. I'll very quickly get rid of the atmosphere just in case. No, it doesn't look like there are any planetary occultations or anything like that, but it does look like the moon is very, very close to being in front of the sun. So we don't seem to be seeing anything from Ireland, but that's okay. That's not where we were told to look from. So we're going all the way up here to northern South America, and we're going to take a look at the exact same date. And there we go. Nice and early in the morning, just 9:30 in the year 2186 on the 16th of July. Yep, we are getting an eclipse. Now this does look like it should be a total eclipse. The total eclipse is very, very brief from this location. So let's wait until we have the perfect totality, or at least nearly a perfect totality. We're definitely getting very, very close to a perfect totality here, but I'm wondering if it is really 100%. So we're seeing, eclipse obscuration 100%. So we are getting a perfect total eclipse. Here we are at just 9:30, 9:33 on the 16th of the 7th, 2186. And we're down here at 4 degrees north and west 68. So negative 68 degrees or west 68 degrees. We're just off of the equator, and we're getting an absolutely perfect total eclipse. It doesn't seem to be lasting very long, but it is dark enough that we can see Mercury and Venus there during the day. I'm a little bit surprised actually that we can't see Mars, for example, but Mars is a little bit fainter and it is a little bit further off there to the side. So this is a perfect total eclipse, and it looks like we're very nearly in the perfect place to see it as well. It does seem a little bit brief. So I feel like this eclipse would last a little bit longer if we were a tiny bit further to the west. So let's see if we can go just a little bit further west, just a tiny bit. We'll come over to around here, and we may need to change the time again, but just in case the eclipse is a little bit better. So of course 100% eclipsed is 100% eclipsed. All of the sun is behind the moon here, but it looks like if we click on the moon, if we can, no, it's still allowing us only to click on the sun, but we'll very quickly click on the moon here because I feel like, here we go, the moon must be pretty close to us, and indeed it is. So if we come back to the moment of the eclipse, the absolute moment of totality, we can see the moon there is 352,000 kilometers away. So the moon is pretty much at its closest to the Earth here. And when the moon is at its closest to the Earth, it's going to seem a little bit bigger. So this is the opposite of an annular eclipse. If the moon was at its furthest from us, we'd be able to see a little bit of the sun around the moon, whereas the moon here is at its closest to us, so it's covering up the sun and then some. So it's covering a little bit more than the average eclipse with the moon at the average distance. We can really clearly see the corona here. And with the peak of the eclipse, it is dark enough to see planets during the day. So around this location, you can see that we're still pretty much in the same location. We've gone a little bit closer to the equator, so we're at 3 degrees north, and we've gone a little bit further west, 73 degrees west, or minus 73. So it is a pretty broad area. If we go back to the sun, because I saw it a second ago, we'll see if we can click on the sun here. There we go. So down here we can see the width of the umbra is 246 kilometers. So that means there is a dark circle on the Earth 246 kilometers across, a dark circle covering this portion of northern South America, just next to the waist with Central America. So because this umbra seems so large, we are going to go to the moon and look back on the Earth to actually see that shadow. So we'll just need to find the right letters here. I always have a little bit of difficulty grabbing, here we go, exactly the right object. So here we are on the moon, roughly the same location of the moon. We'll come a little bit closer to here on the moon because we want to be facing the Earth, and this of course is the side of the moon that faces the Earth. We're looking at the sun, which of course means we're looking straight down. It's not what we want to do. We want to take a look at the Earth. So there we're almost having an alignment between the Earth and Jupiter, which is interesting. But there it is. That dark spot is the umbra of the eclipse. So we can see, there we go, just down at the bottom, that dark spot. That is the shadow of the moon. And as we move through time, we can see that shadow passing across the Earth. So we can see it moving back across from the Atlantic to the Pacific, just cutting across that northern tip of South America. We can see it kind of curving down here. So there is a chance that at least a small part of Africa will see a partial eclipse, but not very much. So that is the eclipse coming up in over 100 years, in the year 2186. This eclipse, we'll take a quick look at it from the perspective of the sun as well while we're here. But this eclipse, it is not coming up for a while, of course. It's going to take a while before this eclipse happens. But it does seem like this eclipse is a particularly good one. Of course, we are going to have plenty of eclipses between now and then. And hopefully, there we go, there is the sun. So we'll go to the sun roughly in the same location. So we should be facing, roughly the right way. We can see, well, we shouldn't be able to see the Earth. The moon should be in the way. And indeed it is. There is the moon. And again, we can see the moon appears to be in front of that portion of South America where we would expect the eclipse to be at its maximum totality. This is another total solar eclipse as seen from the moon, as seen from the Earth. We can see it passing across there, just blocking out the sun's light. And we can see, the moon does seem to be touching off a little bit of Africa here as well. So we'll hop back to the Earth and we'll come down to just about here, just around here, I think might have some amount of a partial eclipse, just as the sun is, well, I suppose just as the sun is setting. Yep, there's the sun. We've got that tree in the way, so let's get rid of that just in case we're getting any portion of eclipse from this far away. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we would need to be out in the Atlantic Ocean for this eclipse to reach totality, to be in the path of totality for this eclipse. So we'll zoom back in here. We're definitely closer. As you can see, we are definitely closer. The moon is almost blocking out the sun, but we're seeing just a little bit too much. We'll go a tiny bit further out, but this is definitely getting into the realm of the ocean. It looks like outside, okay, we've gone a tiny bit too far here, I think. Yeah, so it looks like outside of South America, outside of that northern part of South America, Venezuela, Colombia, that kind of region, it looks like this eclipse is really only going to be visible, here we go, passing over the ocean. So here we are, another perfect totality of the eclipse, but we are definitely -9, so we're down in the southern hemisphere, 9 degrees south, and -5, so we're just off the meridian to the west. It does give us a totality of the eclipse, but you would have to be on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic, which of course is something that people have done to watch eclipses in the past, to get boats out into the ocean where the eclipse is at its best. But this eclipse in particular, it is going to be visible from land as well, so we'll have a slightly better chance to see it if you are in northern South America, again in the year 2186. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the eclipse here, just in case you don't get to see it in real life. If you did enjoy this video, then please do like it. If you like this kind of content, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also read this information on my website, queevinscontent.ie. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.